We are excited because what is coming up on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, we are going to have a workshop by Misty Mator. And guess what? It's going to be interactive storytelling for young children. And what does that mean? Young children is about pre-K to fifth grade, because you can define it in many different ways. And you can look at the link right down there, storycrossroads.org/all things story. You can even find a time zone converter because this is 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But it doesn't matter where you are, you can find that time zone. But let's talk more with Misty. So Misty,
Yes.
you are a mom.
Yes.
You are a storyteller. But
Yes.
combined together, I mean, you have quite the background to guide us in this. So tell us a little bit more about your experience with children and with storytelling.
Oh, thank you. So, like I said, as you said, I have 4 children and they range in age 8 up to, no, wait, 6. I can do math, 6 up to age 14. So I've had children that were, I still have children that are in the young children age range, and I've had children under the age of 5 for about 10 years. So I'm very familiar with the sort of wonderful and quirky things that can happen with young children when you're telling stories. And I have experience then telling stories in classrooms or in libraries where there's a lot of families and young children. And then the difference between telling stories for other people's kids versus your own kids. Because if somebody is interested and maybe you're not an educator, maybe you're not a storyteller or a librarian, but you're a parent or a grandparent or an aunt, uncle, and you want to, how do I make this more interesting for family gatherings? And I want to tell stories to the nieces and nephews about, grandpa when he came from the old country or whatever. So we can discuss a little bit of that, but a lot of the things that apply when you're telling your own children stories at home versus in a public setting, there's a lot of similarities. And one of the things is interruptions are a part of the deal. And it's a matter about your attitude and how you deal with them that'll set the tone for how it works. So that'll be one of the things we discuss in the workshop is how to utilize interruptions, instead of it being something that's working against you, how to work with it. But yeah, I think I answered your question.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did. But no, what's interesting too, and I know you're not going to delve deep into this with the workshop, but I find it also fascinating, is that you do have this alternate personality that you bring to storytelling, especially when you're working with young children, known as Starla. So
Yeah.
can you share just a little bit about why you even developed Starla? Even though I know you're not going to delve deep in the workshop, but I think you're still going to bring up some techniques that you've learned as a result.
Yes, thank you. So Starla was sort of formally born the first time that I but what would be marked as sort of the first time I professionally told stories, because if you ask my mother, I've been telling stories since before I could actually form English words. But I came into my oldest son's preschool classroom, so I didn't even have 4 kids yet. And I knew I wanted a way to sort of help because he was in the audience. I wanted a way to help distinguish between myself as his mother versus I'm here as a storyteller. So I created the costume in part because it created some kind of distance between those two roles. And then for me, my child could tell right away, like, okay, I can't come up and ask for a juice box or, go to the bathroom. I have to ask the teacher for that because right now my mother is the presenter. She's the storyteller. The other reason, and I know a number of other storytellers that use costuming do this for the same reason, is that if you're wearing a costume that's recognizable as a costume, you immediately visually sort of set the space before you even start telling. You make it clear that something different is happening, something special, we're going to do something fun. And preschool teachers have commented like, oh, kids love a costume. Like as soon as they see that, they know something interesting and fun is going to happen. And that's true all the way up, I think, through, 5th grade. I think that's true for all ages. If you see someone in a costume, you know something different is happening. But children are much more willing to play with you and really give you that interaction. But you don't have to wear a costume. Like for me, I have a whole different persona. I know Susie Hammer down in South Florida does that, and she's got multiple personas and characters she uses. But like Brother Blue, he had a storytelling ensemble that he would wear, and he would put the blue butterflies on his cheeks, and he would wear the sash, and he said, so people know I'm ready, I'm here to tell a story. Which, if you're telling stories often in your hometown, it makes it really clear whether you're there as a storyteller or I'm here to go to the grocery store and the post office and I got to get back in time to get my kids off the bus. Now isn't the time. So that was part of why Starla was created, that, and I just found it fun. It gave me a chance to wear all the jewelry and things I couldn't wear with babies because they would rip it off my neck and break them. So yeah, so it's interesting. The older I get, the similarities between me and myself are closer and closer. Starla was sort of
Mm,
more
more
my,
distinct, and
yeah.
now
So
it's
now
blending.
it's a little bit more because now I don't have babies to rip earrings out of my ears. So,
I just found it fascinating, and you will have the things that you'll be teaching us, but there'll also be some interactive times. There's some
yes.
reflection times, being able to work with other people. So I'm very excited about that. So again, everybody, when is it? It will be on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, and that is from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But again, don't forget, there's that link, storycrossroads.org/all-things-story. You can find a time zone converter, and of course, save your spot until we tell again.